Interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Chelsea 1, Burnley 1, and the discipline problems continue at Stamford Bridge. Their 8th red card of the season, and rarely do they win when they concede a red card. Very, very disappointing indeed from Chelsea today. Their fans will be fuming, their fans will be angry, and rightfully so, because it looked like it was going to be a big 3 points with a really hard run of games on the horizon. It was imperative, it was important, it was paramount that Chelsea got the victory. I wonder how many Chelsea fans now regret the last 2 days of winding up Arsenal fans for dropping points to relegation teams. The football gods are real. I'm telling you, they're real. They exist. But Chelsea, look, they let themselves down today. They let themselves down today. They let their fans down today. Let's have it right. They were the better team. Started like a freight train. Had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chances to put the game to bed. I don't like the colorization of this camera. I need to turn this up. There we go. I look too red. I don't know why I look so red in here today. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't. Maybe I look fine. Let me know. They took the lead early. They should have killed the game off. Multiple opportunities. Palmer with chances. Pedro with chances. Or at the very least, they had the ball in dangerous areas. And look, you've got to give Burnley credit for some of the blocks and tackles they made. But if we're being absolutely honest, this is on Chelsea today. It truly, truly is on Chelsea. And for me, watching this, I feel, as you say, the discipline issues, not killing the game off, and then the substitutions. And as much as some won't want to talk about the substitutions, you can't not speak on them, because I get what Liam Rossini was doing, but you're just bringing on defense. I know you did bring on the lap, okay, as an outlet, but bringing on 4 defenders and then essentially barring one little flourish forward from the free kick. By the way, Enzo Fernandez throwing out an arm. Who knows what could have happened? Who knows what could have happened? You know, VAR can be annoying sometimes. The discipline problems are crazy, but they just sat too deep. They just invited Burnley onto them. And I feel that Chelsea with 10 men are better than Burnley with 11. So you don't need to bring that many defenders on. You've got Lavia on the bench. You know, you've got Garnacho on the bench as an example. You took off. Who did you take off in that period of time? Palmer come off. Neto come off. I think you could have James come off. I think you just can keep some extra bodies on, keep a threat. You know, but most of Burnley's attack didn't lead to very much, but there was no one for you to counter to. I just feel that the team went too defensive. They didn't kill the game off, and the discipline issues at Chelsea. Let's just talk about them in a little bit more detail, because for me, maybe the biggest problem at Chelsea this year, and there's been many, but the biggest problem is the discipline. 8 red cards. 8 red cards. And Fofana today was so avoidable. You're already on a booking. The ball is, where you're making the challenge, the ball is deep in Burnley's half. Yes, there were periods of the game where Burnley had the ball, but they weren't peppering the goal. They weren't breaking through your lines. They were not that dangerous. Yes, there was that feeling that Chelsea had to kill the game off, but Burnley weren't dangerous. There was no need to lunge in like that, stud showing. And if you're going to do it, you got to win the ball. And it's that lack of discipline at Chelsea this season that I look at and think to myself plays a huge part in why they've not stayed anywhere near the title race, when I felt maybe this could be the year when they pushed on. Of course, they need better centre-backs. Of course, they need better attackers. The lap hasn't been good enough. The GA's not been bad, but, you know, Garnacho and Gittins haven't been of the standard. Esteval is still young, and there's no way you should be relying on a kid in that way. He's injured today. But the discipline problems, so many games you look at with Chelsea, and let's just look at them here. There was the game against Man United. We started brilliantly, But who knows what way that game goes 11 v 11. When it was 10 v 10, Chelsea were the better team. 11 v 11, they got through the opening 5-10 minutes, could have won the game. Cruising against Brighton at home a few weeks later, go on to lose the game 2-1. They had a red card in the Forest game, but I already think they were leading by 2 or 3 goals. I could be wrong. Yeah, they're already 3-0 up when they got that red card, so they went through to see it. There's a red card against Wolves in the League Cup. Again, I could be wrong in saying that was very late in the game. I think they were already leading in the match when that particular one happened. The Arsenal game, the better team, get a red card, don't win the game. Get a red card against Fulham, lose the game 2-1. Get a red card today, don't win the game. You look at those matches, you are looking at 6 to 8 points. 6 to 8 points have been dropped because of ill discipline. And then you look at the league table for Chelsea. You look at the league table and you say, hang on a minute, let's add them points in, just for argument's sake. You're walking in on, say, 51, 52 points. Now, that's not quite the title race, but you are so secure inside of top 4. And now the big pressure rises. The run of games Chelsea have coming up are massive. And we spoke to Don about this yesterday. We spoke to the Chelsea fans about it all week. We'll be talking to Chelsea fans on our calling show that starts very, very soon, right here, live on the terrace. But you look at it, and this is Premier League only, away to Arsenal, away to Villa, at home to Newcastle, away to Everton, home to City, at home to Man United, away to Brighton. Those 7 games are so much harder than the previous. If you look at the opening games for William Rosenior, by the way, until today, it was 9 wins from 11 in all comps. Very good start. It was 4 wins out of 5 in the Premier League for him. But the last 2 games against Leeds and against Burnley, to be leading at home and not winning, the pressure that now puts on these next few games, because I mean this in the nicest possible way. Chelsea are not winning those 7 games. They're not winning all 7 because I think the league's too hard to win all 7. I don't think there's a team in this league, including City or Arsenal, if that was their next 7 games, would be winning all of them. That's why not even I think City and Arsenal have only won 5 max on the bounce so far this season. They're going to drop points. Massive opportunity here for Liverpool. A massive opportunity here for Manchester United as well. But the lack of discipline at Chelsea has to be addressed now. You can't wait for the summer. There's got to be an inquest internally. 8 red cards is ridiculous. It truly is. If you haven't done so yet, please, people, get the like button hit. Make sure you are subscribing. Get this stream shared as well. This here says Palmer missed a 1v1. Yeah, listen, Palmer had really good moments in the game today on the ball. He had some great skills. He was breaking lines consistently with his passing. But that chance he has going through one-on-one, he's got to do better. He's got to do better. And actually, there was a couple of chances he had inside the box today where they were blocked. But if you actually watch them back and you're sort of fair with them, I feel like his shooting should be and has to be better than it was today. But he did create chances. What did he have shots-wise? He had 4 shots, but only 1 on target. Quite a lot blocked. And I feel he should have done better in that regard. I rate him that highly. I feel that he should have done better. The zonal defending at corners is so weak. They lose their position so easily. Look, and it could have been worse. They could have lost the game right at the end through the same reason. I totally agree. They ain't getting Champions League, Terry. Well, look, I'm not going to go that far. You can predict that. That's absolutely fair. That is absolutely fine if you don't think they're going to do it. But from my point of view and perspective, they've still got a really good chance. But I think we really test the squad and we really test Liam Rosenior in these next 7 Premier League games. What's also factored into that run of 7 games is FA Cup matches away at Wrexham, who I don't know if they actually won their game in the end today. I know they were 3-2 up the last time I checked. Let's have a little look. Did they win the game? Oh, they won 5-3. That's going to be a tough game. They're going to have a Champions League knockout game. That could be against PSG. That we looked at it. They could actually have a game at 3 games in a week to Newcastle if they get them in the draw. Very tough times ahead. Exciting times ahead for Chelsea, but definitely tough times. Burnley are not bottom. Arsenal deserve the shit they got. No, I know Arsenal did. I was just having a little bit of a... This is the problem. Terry's always on the banter police stuff. It was 1 line of banter then serious talk. It's just 1 line of banter, and then we move on. Just chill out now. A good coach would play rubbish to lap, is what Real McCoy says here. Must win for us on Monday. Need to create a gap. Yeah, look, from a Man United perspective, look, it's must win anyway. Maybe Forest could do us a favour tomorrow as well and take some points off Liverpool, and then a gap can be created. A gap's always nice. You know, we've got one game a week in this period where everybody else is, you know, Chelsea, essentially. I know there's an international break in all of that, but they're playing 2 games a week now. Liverpool, 2 games a week. Villa, 2 games a week. We have 1 game a week. We've got to put big pressure on our team to go and win. I absolutely agree with you there, Josh. Saw the red, knew a successful hate watch was coming. DR here says, "Oh my God, sell Wesley Fofana. He all he does is speed cards, gets injured long term, or drops stinkers with 1 good tackle per 90. That's 8 red cards this season." Yeah, look, Fofana. I remember it weren't that long ago. We had Chelsea fans on the Football Terrace. One of them being our friend Don, who said that he's Saliba level, Gabriel level. He isn't. He may have been on the trajectory for that 3 or 4 years ago, but the leg breaks and the injuries have diminished that from him. He is nowhere near the standard for what you pay for him. He just isn't. He's a good defender, but he's a 70k a week defender. For a club like a Chelsea, an Arsenal, a United, a Liverpool, he is a backup option. He should be, in an ideal world, he should be one of your worst centre-backs. He should be 3rd, 4th choice, 5th choice, with much better ahead of him. You need to upgrade, no doubt. I absolutely agree with you. He let you down massively today. He let you down massively. And I think for me, the real big letdown for you lot was the lack of clinical edge up front. That must have been very frustrating today. Now, looking at the statistics in the game, 1.88 XG, 12 shots. This is the thing. Only 2 shots on target. Also, only 3 big chances created in the game as well. And the frustrating element for that is there was the chance for others. And this is where if you didn't watch the game and you just look at the stats, you go, oh, they didn't create much. The amount of time they had the ball in good spaces. And I'll give you an example today of letdown. And don't let this go unnoticed, Chelsea fans. Gusto. Brilliant play by Chelsea. I want to say that it was Caicedo, but it could have been Neto. Plays the ball to him. He's in acres of space on the left-hand side of the box. What does he do? Does he drill the ball across the 6-yard box for a tap-in? Does he pick out a teammate with precision? No. He tries a no-look pass. You're a fullback. He's trying a no-look. Listen, you do a no-look pass and it comes off. Take your plaudits. If you don't and you mess it up, moronic. And the other element here to think about for Chelsea is Esteval has hurt a hamstring. He might be back in the next week. Cucurella touch and go. Fofana now out. Chelsea go away to Arsenal next. When are Chelsea ever going to have a full-strength team against Arsenal? When? When are they going to go there with it? Palmer has deducted 6 points in 2 weeks, personally. What do you mean? Please explain that. I don't quite understand that. Can you explain it to me, please, brother? That doesn't make too much sense. That doesn't make too much sense to me. But let me know. Let me know. So I've got to update a couple of little bits here. Sorry, people. Just updating one little thing. Yeah, I want you to... You don't need super chat again, but I want to understand. Oh, okay, so he missed the goal against Wolves and he missed the goal is what he means. Right, yeah. No, I get that. But I think it's more than just Palmer missing the chances. I think it's a combination of things as well. What did Ram just say here? Don and Chez, Terry. Yeah, it was Don and Chez that said that about Fofana. Crazy. Fofana was brilliant at Leicester, but Chelsea fucked up by buying him after a mad injury and should have left him at Leicester and monitored him. Now, yeah, again, you're absolutely right, Machiavelli. And I think hindsight's obviously lucrative, but you're absolutely correct. You know, he hasn't been, what was he, 70 million? He's on quite a lot of money a week as well. Was he on 200k a week? Somewhere along those lines. Yeah, nowhere near the standard for nowhere near the standard for a player for what Chelsea need. Sorry, I'm just reading something. Yeah, nowhere near that level. Nowhere near the level. Terry, you've got to score goals to win. No, I understand that, but what I mean is that Palmer wasn't the only person to miss opportunities and miss chances. Palmer didn't get the red card today. Palmer wasn't against Leeds. Palmer wasn't the reason, in my opinion, that Chelsea collapsed defensively. And it wasn't the only time Chelsea made mistakes today. Let's not pretend that their playing out from the back wasn't almost disastrous on 5 or 6 occasions. That had nothing to do with Palmer. Palmer wasn't to blame for Liam Rosenior getting very, very defensive at the end. So, listen, I think you can put some blame on Palmer, but I think saying Palmer cost Chelsea 6 points, I feel is an exaggeration. I feel is going too far personally. You may not. We'll have to agree to disagree on that one. It's not a combination of think. It was not Rosenior's fault. If Palmer had taken the chance earlier, we would not have only one goal to hold onto. No, listen, I understand that. So again, if we do it in chronological order, so is that how we're going to assess football? And if that's how you assess football, fair enough. So you go back to the first mistake, which was Palmer not taking that chance, right? But that chance came from a mistake that was made that pushed Burnley further forward. That I think that led to a corner. That corner made Burnley commit players forward that led to the opening. When do you start this? When's the chicken and the egg here? Yes, he should have taken the chance and he should be criticised. But I think the idea of going, because he missed that chance on the 25th minute, all of what happened was then on Palmer. I think it's a bit of a stretch, if I'm being honest with you. Terry, how do you expect Rosenior to sort out discipline if discipline? He is an inexperienced manager. He is a novice. He hasn't had to coach long. Sounds more like a teacher in his interviews. How do I expect him to do it? By putting his foot down with a firm hand. Simple as that. And this is where you'll see how good Clearlake are, because it should be whatever they decide to do internally to solve the discipline problem. If the ownership have his back, he'll have the authority. Simple as that. Simple as that. Oh, yeah, he missed the open net versus... Yeah, again. So, yeah, I forgot about that miss. Yes, he did. I agree. But the defense collapsing, Caicedo giving away a penalty, the defense collapsing, Sanchez running out and tackling a Leeds player, it would have been a penalty anyway. That isn't on Palmer. So, again, Palmer can take blame. But sole blame, not having that one. You can do it. I'm not going to delete your comments and say you shouldn't say it. I'm saying I disagree with you that it's all on Palmer. That's just me personally. Stay humble, is what Smith. Long time no see, Smith. I haven't seen you in the comments in a long time. Terry, if Chelsea miss Champions League football next season, do you think the board will sack Liam Rosenior? No, they won't sack Liam Rosenior for that, in my opinion. I don't think that would happen. I think Liam Rosenior is here for the long haul. By the way, I want to say a big shout out to our title sponsors today, NordVPN. Remember, protect yourselves online at all time. From malware, from Trojan horses, from dodgy sons of bitches that are out there trying to steal all your details, steal all your data. Make sure you use the internet in privacy as well. A lot of you are not aware of this, especially you young men watching, that whoever pays your bill or who has access to your bill can see exactly what you go on the internet doing, even if you're using incognito, even if you're using the private search on an iPhone. I don't know what the equivalence is on an Android. Whatever you're doing, people can see it. And even more importantly, if you're out, you might be at a garden center, you could be at an airport, you could be in a bar or a pub or at school. If you're using public Wi-Fi and you don't have NordVPN, all your personal data is accessible and potentially corruptible. So sign up to NordVPN now. Use the link in our description. You can scan the QR code in the top corner. You'll get 4 months free, courtesy of the Football Terrace. Plus, it's got a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're a streamer, your internet quality remains the same. If you're someone that uses the internet for work, especially if you work from home, another great way of protecting your company's data and information as well. So get signed up to NordVPN at the end of the show. Just click the link now, scan the QR code now, save it, but get it done later. The other side of NordVPN that I love, though, aside from protecting yourself, is what you can actually do in terms of football. So I get to watch all the 3 p.m. games on Setanta Sport. And I don't normally watch it on my phone. I normally watch it on my iMac. But you can watch it on your phone. And it's absolutely fantastic. Once you've got NordVPN, for like $3.99 a month, Setanta, I'm just checking it is still $3.99. Yeah, $3.99 a month. It's there on my phone, as you can see. So a lot of people say don't worry, but there it is. You can see it there. Hopefully that will focus in. That's obviously for the game for tomorrow. But if you scroll up right now, it shows you everything that's live right now on Setanta Sports. There's snooker if you like a pool. There's a bit of basketball if you like basketball. You've obviously got West Ham versus Bournemouth that's coming on. You've got the Leipzig-Dortmund game. But there's loads of all these different sports here. Premier League, UFC, Bundesliga, all there on Setanta Sport. You actually go onto the schedule and it'll show you everything that's coming up, everything that's live. The Saudi League is on there too. So for $3.99 a month, you get this. And once you've signed up to it, on my phone, I then use my iMac. So I get to watch all of them. And it's not illegal streaming. You cannot get in trouble. Okay? It's not against the law. It might be against the terms of service of the app. And what they might do is stop you from using it. But I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years. They don't care. They don't care. It's against the terms of use service, but they don't care because I'm subscribing to them and not somebody else. They're not going to do anything. Plus, NordVPN are so good most of the time they don't even know you're using a VPN. All you've got to do is clear the cookies on your search engines and everything, and make sure when you turn your phone on, the first thing you do is put NordVPN on, and there you go. So get signed up to it now. Get the games, and even you might even be paying for Sky. You know, I got rid of it. It saves me £150 a month through. I just don't use any of the sports stuff. Things like UFC, then all the pay-per-view packages free on here. If you're like a wrestling fan, all the wrestling's on there free. So it's some great stuff. Use NordVPN to power it. Get that done now. Let's go back to some of your comments here on the football today, and I'm going to start speaking to some callers in a few minutes. What country have you signed up in? What am I on Nord? Let me go onto my Nord account. I don't really like showing my phone on the camera, but yeah, I'm in the Ukraine, as you can see there, right? Hopefully it focuses. Ukraine. That's where I'm on with NordVPN, right there. The Ukraine. So I use Ukraine normally, but Latvia I use for the Champions League. So there we go. To be fair, Terry, if we are going to go at Saka for missing chances, Palmer also has to cap Flack for his misses. I agree. And he does deserve criticism. At the same time, you would never see me go fully in on Saka and blame him solely for an Arsenal defeat in the same context and circumstances as Chelsea. So as much as you guys are saying keep the same energy, I do keep the same energy. When Man United were losing games under Ruben Amorim, how often did you see me just single out one player or just single out the manager? Or how often was it the manager got this wrong, the players got that wrong, this guy made a massive mistake? So it's just the way I am. I don't believe I've watched football too long to ever think one player is completely and rarely. If you have a game where your team's amazing and the opponents are amazing, and it's just a game where you can't quite break a deadlock, but it's so close, and then one guy has a brain fart moment, maybe that's a little different. But there were multiple issues with Chelsea today. To say Palmer missed a good chance, that's why we didn't win, especially when Fofana needlessly got sent off. I think that's a stretch, and I'll defend Palmer there from that. What site do you use to watch the games? It's called Setanta Sport. Setanta Sport, there's an app for it. Get signed up to NordVPN. Then it's really easy. Once you're signed up, you've got NordVPN working. What you then do is you go onto your app store, okay, because you can't sign up for it on their website. So go onto the app store, and whatever the equivalent is if you use Android, you get Setanta Sport, but you're already using NordVPN and you're in Ukraine or Moldova. You sign up with your Apple ID. Worked for me perfectly. Remember, clear all your cookies, clear your search history, clear all your phone, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, straight onto NordVPN, go to Ukraine or Moldova, download the app, get signed up, $3.99 a month. Once that's done, I then go, you can either do it on, if you've got a smart TV, I do it on my iMac, because my iMac screen is bigger than my TV in my office. So I sign up there, and then you sign in with your Apple ID. Remember, keeping your phone still in the Ukraine, and then it asks you to scan the QR code to connect your phone. Your computer's also connected to NordVPN, remember that, and in Ukraine. And then it links up because your phone's in Ukraine, your computer's in Ukraine, you must be in the Ukraine. And then it lets you watch it. It's very simple, very easy, easily done. Sign up now, NordVPN. Scan that QR code. Plus other things it does that are great as well. So say so for instance, like Paramount Plus gets loads of all the movies that are currently like you have to buy to watch in England right now are all currently out on Paramount Plus in Canada. So I get a lot of films and a lot of movies that I have to pay for here, £15-20 a pop. Get it all for free. NordVPN is amazing. It makes and saves you money. You can book flights cheaper. So if I want to book a flight somewhere, often I'm going to Turkey soon. So what I did is I changed my location to Turkey. The flight was £100 cheaper because it thought I was in Turkey. Thank you, NordVPN. Get it done, people. Right, it's back to the football. Then calls are coming, people. This glory blame hunting is too much. It's a team sport that include individualism. Palmer is a part of the team. It happens. All attackers miss. I agree with you, Harold. And for me, this is the reason I don't do the singular blaming is what's the other thing I push back against? Just for consistency here. And I'm going to look at Judge Mode backstage when I say this because he hopefully he'll confirm it. One of my biggest bugbears are when people say one-man team. Because I believe the phrase one-man team is a load of bullshit as well. I don't believe like Messi was the best player at Barca, but they wouldn't have won what they won if you took Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, and Piqué away. I don't care how good Messi is. They wouldn't have won the same. They wouldn't have won the same. Ronaldo, look at what he did at Real Madrid. Take Benzema away, Bale away, Mudryk away, and Ramos. See what they fucking do then. See if they do a three-peat then. Bet they don't. Team sport, people. Don't forget it. Anyone who says otherwise, stop listening to them. They're not. What's the point of listening to an idiot? Genuinely. That's not a bad opinion. It's stupidity. That's like a heart doctor telling you that eating 10 ton of bacon a day, and drinking chip fat's good for you. You'd never listen to them. Saw the red. Newest successful. Oh, sorry, already done that super chat. Yeah, right. I'm going to go to calls now, people. We've got Andrew Barnes who's going to be on with first. We've got Kwess backstage. Winter Surfer. Judge Mo is there as well, ready to talk to us. Let me get my earphones on. Ready to talk to the boys. The boysies are here. Aye, boysies. What's the button I need? Let me remove that from the screen. Right, calls up next. Andrew Barnes is first. Let's do this.
To avoid digital threats, just turn on NordVPN. Improve your protection against online trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get NordVPN.
Andrew, welcome back to the show, my friend. Obviously, a disappointing result for you in the end, thrown away. Let's start where it all really went wrong. Wesley Fofana, what is he doing?
First of all, hello, Terry. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm very, very good. I'm very, very good. Thank you.
Yeah. So, the thing is, this game was frustrating. After the 4th minute, it was just frustrating to watch. That first half was diabolical. And Wesley Fofana, I think the chat already said it, and we looked at the super chats as well. I think this guy has caused more problems than he's done good for us. He was a talented guy, like in Leicester for sure. But that was just so stupid today. We were in control of the game. We were not doing anything forward, but we just had to stick it out. I think even KJ said it in the group chat that we could stick it out and we would have won 1-0. It would have been not the best sort of performance, but the result would have mattered a lot just because Villa just equalized as well. But this game was like really frustrating to watch. And there are many players to pick apart from this. And also the manager needs to like lift his hand up or raise his hand up and say that like he got it wrong. He got the substitutions wrong. I don't know what they were trying in the first half, especially when they had moments where they could put the ball in the box or take shot. I don't know what these guys do in their training. Like, honestly, I don't know, because they just are afraid to even take shots, or they're constantly passing too many times near the box. Like, take the shot, take the chance. It's okay if it goes out. Eventually, one of them will go in. It's football. A deflection will go in. Something will happen. And for me to constantly see this happen to the team where we are leading at home and then we drop points, this feels like a loss. And this will continue to feel like a loss because of that. I really thought that today was going to be 3 points. We will especially after the way we started. And I was so happy about that. But I think the performance has let us down. And yeah, the players were just not good enough. Like, Palmer was not good enough.
No, I agree with the not good enough part. I think what was crazy about it is that you're sort of, it actually reminded me a lot of Arsenal's game against Wolves. Started brilliantly, early goal, but had chances to kill it, but didn't. And it always felt like there was a potential sting in the towel. Does that make sense? Now, they're the potential champions against a team that are worse than Burnley. But it just felt at every moment, if you just don't kill this off, they might do something. And I think for Fofana, and what do you make of the disciplinary issues? Because that's now your 5th red card in the Premier League this year. You're 8th in all competitions. And in nearly every game where you've had a red card, you haven't won it. But I think 2 games you have won. You're already leading. The red cards came late. But the other games, when you've had it sort of earlier in the match, you haven't been able to win any of them. That discipline issues, that seems to be really costing you.
It is definitely costing us. And I think this is coming from players who have arrogance for no reason. Because I think they're making like really silly mistakes, stupid mistakes. And there is this sort of air and arrogance about them when they do. They don't seem apologetic or like, that, oh man, like I made a mistake. And for me, it's starting to become frustrating. I think these players need to stay humble in their head. They need to like really be like aware of the situation. If they're fatigued or tired, they need to tell the bench or tell the touchline to say, hey, I need to come off, because they really start to make stupid decisions, which is costing the team. And there are so many people in front, in the midfield, that are making the efforts. And like if the backline does this, because I think even Tosin's one was very close. I think on another day, he might have got a red card. Enzo Fernandez lashing out, he could have got a red card. For me, like these things are kind of frustrating. And I don't know, because Maresca wasn't able to fix this. Even he got red carded when he was there. So we had like a streak of like continuous double yellows and red cards that were happening. And I'm really hoping that, and I think this is where Terry, like if there's proper leadership, like I'm talking about experienced leadership, like if there was a John Terry in the dressing room, if there was a Drogba in the dressing room, or for Lampard in the dressing room, like somebody who's there and saying, hey, like, get your shit together. Like this can't happen game after game where we are in control of a game. Because if you look at, there was one point of this game in the first half, for the last 10 minutes, I think in the first half, Burnley had 67% of possession. Yeah. And I'm like, how are we doing this at home to a team that's, I think, 19th, 18th, 19th? How are we doing this? Like, I'm not able to understand. Like, it's quite frustrating to watch this. And today, because you mentioned Arsenal, today Palmer's performance was very Madueke-esque. Like, it was very, like, he's doing all the things that he's supposed to do, but he's not finishing. And for me, that was, like, really frustrating to watch. I was, just to, like, finish off, I was really hoping for a, like, new sponsor bounce, like to say, okay, that we could get some 3 points.
You guys know you've got a very tough run of games coming up. And I think most sensible and sane-minded Chelsea fans know that it's very unlikely you win all of those games. And, getting those points today was absolutely key for you, because you've played, I don't think Leeds will go down, but they're in a relegation battle. In fairness, two good points. I mean, they've actually got draws away at Chelsea and Villa in their last 2 games, which is great for them. But for yourselves, it's the other way. It was, you had 2 gimmies, 2 of the easiest teams in the league at home, and you've dropped points from leading positions. And I think that's 19 points now from winning positions in the league this season. And that's something that's a lot. When you actually think about that, that's the difference between being in a top 4 race and in the title race, because you were winning a lot of those games. It's crazy. But Andrew, listen, mate, always a pleasure to talk. We'll chat again soon, bro.
See you, Daddy. Thank you so much.
Mate, thank you very much indeed. Kwess is on with us next. What are you saying, brother?
Can you hear me, yeah?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, man, all good, man. To be honest, bit of a frustrating result, but for me, I can't see any reason to lose our heads over this. Like midweek when Arsenal drew to Wolves, there was a lot of people saying, Arsenal need to not drop their heads now. It's a bad result, but it is what it is, right? So I see the same thing for Chelsea. We've drawn again after a red card, right? So the circumstances have obviously contributed to the result and the scoreline. Had we had 11 men, we'd probably see the game out. But it's just 2 points dropped. At the end of the day, we know that the fight for top 4, top 5 was going to be difficult. I don't know why we thought games like this would be easy when you've got teams at the bottom who for everybody at this point in the season, they just like, it's like they play with an extra man, right? They've got extra energy, whether they're going down or staying up. This is the point of the season where it's only the teams that are already going for the league that seem to have the energy to get past these teams. So for me, I don't see any reason to stress. What I am seeing, which is sort of predictable, is obviously a lot of other people are going to try and drive home this narrative now about Chelsea having disciplinary issues, Chelsea just not having the mental witherall to withstand. Not forgetting that actually under Rafinha, we've been on a good run of form. We obviously had that bad result against Leeds, but we're talking again, like going back to that result, we're talking about a Leeds team that hadn't lost in like 12 games or something like that. It was some mad stat, or they'd only lost 2 in 12. They're taking points against all the big teams. And so this result, why it seems a little bit stinky, it's a little bit more frustrating because we could have caught up against Villa, it's just a draw. So I see no reason to stress, no reason to panic. There's a couple things that you could be really, if you wanted to nitpick, be frustrated about. The manager could have made better subs. Some of the formation looked a bit off today, but I expect you to get some things wrong some of the time. No team is perfect. No manager is perfect. None of the players are perfect. Let's talk about João Pedro scoring another goal. Let's talk about a great performance from Santos again. Let's talk about, bar that one silly no-look pass from Gusto, him having another game. I don't see any reason to stress, but that's me. And I know that I stand very far away from most Chelsea fans who are going to be very emotional today. They're going to lose their heads. They're going to go and drown their sorrows in pints and peanuts, and they'll get over it. And by midweek, when we face our next game again, we'll be right back to trying to do what we've been trying to do all season. That's push for top 4 and win trophies. And by the way, if Arsenal get to say they're in all 4 competitions, why would any Chelsea fan not say we're still in all 3? So you have to have perspective. It's about perspective. And that goes for a lot of teams in this league. So for me, nothing to stress about. It is what it is.
Yeah, look, I think not stressing about it is one thing. In terms of I want to ask you about the disciplinary issues. It's 8 red cards this year. Do you not think that is excessive and needs to be looked at from a Chelsea point of view?
Had it have been the same manager, yeah. But I think that's Rafinha's first red card, maybe second at most. So if that's his first red card after how many other games, right? And it's a second yellow, by the way. It's not a silly straight red. It's not an aggressive straight red. It's not a running behind dumb decision straight red. It's a rogue tackle, and those tackles happen. Yeah, we've seen Caicedo get straight red for a worse tackle. That was truly silly. Fofana being a bit of a battler in a centre-back, getting a second yellow doesn't surprise me. This happens to centre-backs. I'm frustrated at him in the sense of, look, don't get involved in that stuff. Yeah, for sure. But then I also thought the refereeing was poor today. So I'm looking at it going, it could have been anything that could have got us in trouble today. And if that's a second yellow and that's the one that got the red card, so be it. I'm not going to crash out on our players because they've had a wobbly moment. It is what it is. And actually, we're on 6 red cards this season. Again, like I say, predominantly all of those red cards have come before Rafinha. So I don't look at it as a disciplinary issue. I look at it as it was a disciplinary issue. And this is just one of those ones where it's a silly thing. It probably gets ironed out and we probably don't see that again for the rest of the season. And by the way, Fofana doesn't really get cards. I think this is actually his first red card for Chelsea and second red card in his whole career. I'm pretty sure that's a legit stat. So you can go and fact check it. If I'm wrong, correct me. But again, I don't worry about these things because I think it's all about perspective. So, yeah.
I hear that. On the other side of it, though, another goal for João Pedro. And I think as this, you got a really tough run in Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League. Him maintaining this quality is going to be imperative. But, another very good striker's goal from João Pedro today.
Oh, top. And that's what has to be the focus. Again, listen, people need to remember, squads make incremental improvements. Things don't just switch overnight and then just always go up. Yeah, we've been actually on a trajectory where we've been improving in lots of different ways. Actually, we may have seen a result today with the red card where we end up losing 2-1 or 3-1. But we didn't. And we could have scored more. There were chances for Palmer, chances for Neto, a chance where Gusto even cut the ball back, could have scored. But again, João Pedro, as we said at the start of the season, this is why so many people believed in him in the first place. And actually, again, what needs to be reinforced is we had a manager before, right, that was not playing to our striker's strengths. Look at the difference when we're playing to the striker's strengths. João Pedro scoring consistently, and I would back him to continue to score more goals this season. So I'm really happy about that. I'm focusing on that. I'm focusing on the fact that we've got a striker who I really think is capable of taking us to the next level. We've got to build around it. All right, we've got to be consistent in working out some of the kinks, but we should be very, very happy and pleased about that. We've done well to get to this position where we can free our strikers to get goals. Delap probably needs a little bit of clip on the back of the head because that last ball that dropped, he should have fired that bottom corner. He's lashed it into row 19 or whatever. Yeah, plus he deserves a clip around the back of the head. But again, incremental improvements, man. I'm not too stressed. It's frustrating. More frustrating it would have been had Villa lost, but again, they didn't. They've taken the points. Now let's just continue to focus, move forward, man.
I want to ask you one last thing. A lot of people in the comment section today have really gone in on Palmer. It's on him. He missed against Leeds. He missed chances today. He's cost us, well, it ain't 6 points. He's cost you 4 points. You would have got extra. Are you a subscriber to that belief that Palmer is the biggest reason you've not won the last 2 games? Or is that far too much of an extremity?
Far too much of an extreme. Far too much of an extreme. I get it. Listen, like I say, I understand people have different ways of coping. And one of the ways that people cope is to find an enemy. Yeah, they like to find a villain and blame them. So if you want to make Palmer the villain, that's fine. But then you also have to acknowledge his heroics from years before, seasons before, moments before. Yeah. Now, we're not going to act like he didn't score a hat-trick against Wolves. Yeah. So what you need to do is be balanced. You need to be balanced. You can't just say now someone's the problem. Albeit, today was one of his worst games. Yeah, was one of his worst games for sure. But Palmer's allowed that, much like João Pedro is allowed that, much like any other player, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, that has been one of our better performances. And I know Mo's on here, right? So I know he's going to come and talk about it. Yeah, he's going to talk about his own things. But even just really quickly, I want to mention Caicedo today because he was phenomenal. And Mo said last week to me when he was on the show, he was saying how Moises Caicedo does nothing. Yeah, he can't see what he brings to the table. Again, for me, this is why I say stay balanced, right? Take it easy, have perspective. You can blame Palmer, you can blame all these players when they have an off day, but then you've got to keep the same energy when they're having their best day. My thing to all Chelsea fans is, I've been saying since the start of the season, it's going to be up and down. Don't let people draw you into getting upset. Don't let people draw you into getting emotional. This is a young squad. The youngest, I think, in the Premier League still. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to have situations, days, times where they're not at their best. This is one of them. But if you lose your head, it's on you and not on them because they will get it back in blood. They always do. Chelsea always come back stronger, and we will. And I'm sure by the end of the season, we'll be smiling if you're willing to stay on the train. So my advice is stay on the train. Palmer's good. The rest of the boys are good. We'll be back. No issues.
Kwess, always a pleasure, mate, to sit and speak, getting a very good and different perspectives. We'll chat again soon, bro.
Bless, bro. Take it easy, Tom.
Thank you very much indeed. Viewers, up next, Elijah is joining us on the show to talk about East Chelsea.
Avoid malware-ridden files. Zen. Be more cyber zen. Get NordVPN.
Elijah, I don't expect you to have the same energy as Kwess. How are you feeling after the 1-1 draw?
Oh, sorry, Tor, I couldn't hear you.
How are you feeling after the 1-1 draw?
Okay, one sec.
Can you hear me yet? We'll try and get you on a bit later in the show, bro. We'll try and get you on a bit later. Winter Surfer's here with us. What are you saying, bro?
Hello.
Are you in the same mindset as Kwess? Not frustrated, not annoyed? You're going to come back stronger? Or are you starting to look at the run-in after the last 2 home games thinking, could be in trouble for a Champions League spot? Because there's a big mixture of Chelsea fans on today.
Yeah. I don't know how you can not come away from that game and not be frustrated. I just, because we dropped 4 points to lower level teams. And I said at the start before the run that we always have trouble with these runs. These are the runs we have trouble with, not the runs that we're supposed to have trouble with. And, you know, the problem is there with this team, if they don't put the other team away, the attack, then we have to rely on the centre-backs. And whether it's one or both, no matter what the pairing is, one of them's got a bozo gene in them. One of them's going to do something, you know, because before that red card, Burnley weren't doing anything. Burnley weren't attacking us. They weren't having any chances. Sanchez wasn't pulling off any saves or anything like that. It was quite, you know, it would have been one of those, yeah, it was a poor performance, but we got the 1-0 win. Do you know what I mean? We got the 3 points, that's all that matters. But no, Wesley Fofana, and this whole thing about, I'm not having this young players and experience now. There's loads of experienced players on that pitch now, Terry. That excuse doesn't wash with me anymore. One of them should be going to him, you know, reminding him he's on a yellow card, Terry. I don't think he remembered he was on a yellow card. I really don't. I don't think he remembered. I don't think he remembered. I think he went, I don't, because I didn't even see the challenge because I was doing something. So I thought he got sent off for mouthing off to the referee first, and then I saw that challenge.
Well, I thought it was, I saw, I had a betting update come through. I weren't even betting. It's a way of being ahead of the scores, right? Because I'm streaming them. It's a way of, that's how I keep up to date, because the betting apps actually get score updates before Sky do for the obvious reasons, right? If you see it on the Sky Sports app 30 seconds prior, people go and put bets on. And they said red card, Chelsea game. You didn't know who it was for.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at it and I saw the way he went in. I must be a straight red. I didn't know he was on the yellow card. But he has to know. You've got Hannibal on the Burnley team, who is a bit of a nutter at times, got booked, was sensible the rest of the game. And no, I do agree with you. I do agree. Sorry, back to you, mate.
But it's the problem is that I don't mind him bringing, and also the manager, I don't mind him bringing on the defenders at the end trying to see out the game. But no one went twice with the equaliser and then nearly one in the end. No one tracked the runner. Who's leading at the back there and telling them to track the run and not the ball? No one is. You expect someone like Tossin's, and this is not just on Tossin, just on Tossin's age, to lead and go, right, next 5 minutes, we're just going to head everything, we're going to challenge everything, we're going to track the run and not the ball. I hope this wasn't like a zonal marking thing, Terry, because I hate zonal marking. I think it's a detriment to defending, because there's no way that guy, you could see the run, and he got no one tracked him at all. And that was the problem. And at the end, there was another free header at the end as well. And then they could have snatched it. But it's like, we dropped 19 points. If you just gave us 9 of those points back, Terry, we'd be on 54 points.
Yeah.
We'd be 54 points. We would be away and we'd be looking upwards, chasing we'd be up there. This rubbish team would be in a title race. If they just gave us 9 of those points back. And it's just one of those things. It's so frustrating. And now, because of how crazy we are as a team, we'll go away and we could beat Arsenal 1-0 and Villa 1-0 away. And it's just you sit here and you go, what, like this? I will say this: Palmer definitely should have scored in the first half. That one, I expect he got past Walker. Do you know what I mean? I know Walker's older now, but Walker wasn't catching him.
No,
and he should have done that. But in the attack, it was one more pass or one more touch, and it was just lacking. It was like, okay,
you got Gusto doing no look passes when no passable properly
exactly.
done.
And it's just man. It's like just get the job. Okay, just see it out then. Just see it out. We'll take the 1-0 win. It doesn't matter because it's 3 points. We put our feet up. Liverpool got to go away to a resurgent Forest, and you've got a difficult game away on Monday at Everton. But now we've left the door open. Left the door open for you to go further ahead. And Liverpool to catch us up even more. I mean, we're on this run that's coming up. That's why the frustration is. I can understand, Kwess comes in with his Zen, I'm happy and all this and all that. But I don't know how any Chelsea fan can not be frustrated. Whatever you think about the team, whatever you think they can do or not, if you just single out the game, not be frustrated with that performance. Do you know what I mean? The results.
I agree with you. I think, and I think there's a difference between being frustrated with today and absolutely losing it with your team and attacking them all and saying the season's over. The season being over nonsense, I absolutely agree with. But to not be frustrated, and I think it's the two things, isn't it? As you say, 19 points dropped this season from winning positions. And most teams, even the best teams ever, drop points, some points throughout the course of the season from winning positions. But if you got half those points back, you're clearing the top 4. And you've got no more stress and worries in the league. And that's something, obviously, to look at.
And Villa dropped points today as well. Villa dropped points today as well. And it was a chance to pull them further into a top 5 battle. Do you know what I mean? That's the even bigger frustration. So please, Chelsea fans, you are allowed to be stressed out about this game. You are allowed to be, because it should be. You should be stressed out. You should be feeling disappointed. But it's just one of those things. It's going to be one of those. Like I said, we'll pop up this time next week, or like days time. We'll be probably wind up, but could wind up here beating Arsenal 1-0, and I'll be like.
No, I hear you. I suppose one element about the Arsenal game that might be a little concerning is, Esteval, Cucurella, Fofana look like they could all be missing. There was talk about a little pull maybe on the calf of Palmer as well at some point.
Yeah, I mean, the Cucurella one's the biggest one. Esteval, I don't care about Fofana. You could stick any centre back in there. They're all bozos to me. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter, Fofana, whoever. But yeah, I know Palmer. They said it was, but I know he finished the game. Oh no, he didn't finish the game. He got sent off. But it's one of those. It's one of those things. Really, it's just stressful because we go into now. Like Nina said a few months ago, before the run at Burnley, she wasn't scared for the opposition. It was scared of us.
Well, it was crazy. It is. I mean, it's the same two. It's the same two run of fixtures. The same two run of fixtures. I'm more concerned about Burnley than Arsenal. And everything she said was right in terms of it's these games that you have these moments in. And the last 2 weeks, Nina's been proven right. Mate, always a pleasure as ever to speak, mate. I'll let you crack on with your Saturday evening. We'll speak soon, bro. Top man. Elijah's back with us now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, yeah.
How you feeling after dropping those points to Burnley, bro?
Oh, Terry, man, I'm just absolutely fuming because this is another game, Terry, by the way, where Chelsea have failed to beat a newly promoted team this season at Stamford Bridge. 2-1 Sunderland, 2-2 against Leeds, and now today against Burnley, yeah? Villa dropped points today, yeah? Brentford lost. Man United go away to Everton on Monday. Liverpool go away to Forest. This was an opportunity to put the pressure on 3 teams, and we couldn't capitalize. Yeah, 19 points, Terry. 19 points. We have dropped for winning positions. 19. Yeah, we used to call Tottenham bottle jobs, but we are now. We are bottling right now. Yeah, and it's absolutely embarrassing. Burnley, I'll give credit to them because they defended really good, but there is no excuses, man. This was an opportunity to win this game after that 2-2 draw against Burnley. And you know what got me frustrated, Terry, is that we got an early goal in the 4th minute. João Pedro scored. Cool, I was happy. And then I'm saying to myself, let's hope here that Chelsea can continue like this. Let's hope we can continue to try and get a few more goals so that we can win this game. But then after that, Terry, the performance was poor in the first half. We were lackluster, we were slow, the tempo was slow, everything was slow, and we should have been at least 2 up. Like Palmer, bro, oh my God, like I can't believe he has missed that chance. He put it, rather than him, trying to score, he put it straight at Martin de Brecker. Shocking, man, absolutely shocking. And then Terry, seriously, where's your father, man? Why? Why do you have to make that challenge? You're already on a yellow card and you decide to do it again. That is 9 red cards we suffered this season, including the manager, Terry. 9, And I'm thinking to myself, why is Chelsea always have disciplinary issues at this football club? Why? Why is that? And I tell you why, Terry, it's because the mentality of this club is in the bin. Is in the bin. We don't know how to defend. We don't know how to sort ourselves of not getting another red card, and we don't know how to kill teams off. And that's the problem, and that's why we keep dropping points because we can't. Our attack is poor and our defense is poor. And now Fofana is going to miss the Arsenal game. That is 3 players that's going to be out for Arsenal: Cucurella, Esteval, and now Fofana. It's an absolutely embarrassing. And I know these players are experienced, but they're not acting like one. They are not. And that's why we keep dropping points. And I tell you what, Terry, we've got Arsenal next. And these next 10 games are tough because we go away to Arsenal, away to Villa, home, then Man City at home, Liverpool away, Tottenham at home, Brighton away, and Sunderland away in the final game. And I'm thinking to myself, if Chelsea cannot beat a newly promoted team this season, how I am going to be confident in the game against Arsenal? And I won't be surprised, Terry, if we turn up against Arsenal and then we get the result. Because like Nina said in November, she is more scared of Burnley than Arsenal. And that's true, because we usually turn up in big games, but when it comes to teams that we're supposed to beat, we struggled. And that is embarrassing, yeah? And if we didn't, and let me tell you something, Terry, if we didn't drop 90 points to winning positions, we could have been in the title race, and I could have been surprised that this club is actually in the title race. But guess what? The reason why we're not in the title race is because the mentality of this football club, it is them. I'm sorry, but Liam Messiah is not good. I can't blame on him today. Apart from just the left back, I can't have a go at him because I can't blame Liam Messiah on Fofana getting a red card. I can't blame Liam Messiah on Palm missing a glorious chance in the first half. I can't blame this on him. It's the players, man. And these players have really got to learn how to kill teams off, how to defend, and how not to get a stupid red card like we saw today. And that's how we dropped points today. And I'm absolutely fuming. And I'm not even confident in the game against Arsenal because they'll probably beat us once again. And if that happens, Terry, we'll drop below Liverpool if they beat Forest tomorrow and they win the next game. And you guys could go further up in the table. And how embarrassing, Terry, is that we end up making Champions League this season, but we don't end up next season after all the money that we spend. Like it's a joke. Like people are not scared of, and this is why, I've been saying it. Whenever teams go to Stamford Bridge, they are not scared. Look at Burnley. Were they scared? No. Look at Leeds. Were they scared? No. No one is scared of going to Stamford Bridge anymore. If I ask United fans, City fans, Tottenham, Newcastle, and all that stuff, they ain't scared as well. And this is why this club is an absolute disgrace. We are rubbish, we're in a mess, and this club is not going to go anywhere near forward until Blue Coal and the sport directors leave the club immediately, because they're the problem and they've caused this. And that's as simple as that. Fucking fuming, man.
Elijah, always a pleasure, mate. Thank you for coming and getting that off your chest here on the terrace. I appreciate it. We'll speak soon, my guy. Take care, mate. Get home safe. Get home safe. Get home safe. Viewers, like, share, and subscribe. Judge Mo on with me next. Let's get it done. Remember, we are sponsored today by NordVPN. Get signed up now and protect yourself online against all those cheating, dirty, fraudy bastards that are out there trying to nickel your personal data. Sign up now. Let's get it done. Judge Mo is next.
Chasing the best deals online? Let NordVPN protect you as you browse the internet. Go to NordVPN.com for a special deal. Install the app, connect, and enjoy secure and private browsing. Online security starts with a click.
Judge Mo.
Fantastic NordVPN, actually. I had NordVPN for 2 years. It's actually great. When I travel, when you travel, it's fantastic to get your subscriptions on.
No, wait. I watch.
I'm not paid to say this. I literally had NordVPN, guys, because I myself was sponsored by NordVPN, so I tested them actually, and
they're great. Where it works for me is I watch a TV show here in England. It's called EastEnders. It's a soap, and you can only get it on the BBC. And you can't, like, they've got an iPlayer, but you can't use the iPlayer when you're abroad. It always says you're away. So that's like when I go on holiday and I still want to catch up with my shows, you can watch. It's great. I love it.
I went to Egypt for 7 months and I used my my subscription as well.
Yeah, that's what it's great for. People that do that.
I got a couple of points about Chelsea. Number one, Caicedo is not a tackler. He can pass. Hussam in the chat. And Hussam is in the mud because Caicedo, that pass is what I've been telling people that Caicedo can do. This pass that he played for the goal that he scored, it's the line-breaking pass, about like 30, 40 yards pass. He is fantastic, actually. He was absolutely great. I thought Andre Santos looked good. I actually disagree with Elijah. I think Burnley was scared of Chelsea. Chelsea played, in terms of a play, Chelsea played very well, in my opinion. Chelsea played very, very well. I thought Palmer played well. Yes, he missed a chance. But in terms of a play, I think this is one of Palmer's best game in terms of like open play and creating chances between the lines and playing and everything. I thought it was good. I know that at the end you have to score the goal, that's the negative part of it. Like he's rusty in front of the goal and he needs to score more. now comes the problem with Chelsea, which is, I think it's a massive problem. It's the anger issue. I swear to God, when I was watching Chelsea, it's not only about the Fofana's tackle. I have no idea why. There's a lot of these young players at Chelsea, and me and you discussed this before, and Chelsea fans, you get one of the main reasons you drop points, you get red cards, you're not marking well, is the anger. You're not focused in the play. Even in the there is a free kick, and I'm just gonna give you an example about this. It's a free kick that Barnes, right, had the header and it called offside. Enzo Fernandez is not focused on anything other than he wants to push Barnes so bad, and he's so upset. Focus on the marking. Andre Santos is so focused on fighting sometimes. You're a great player. We look at the potential, we look at how you play. Why are you so focused on fighting? Enzo Fernandez is focused on fighting instead of playing. Sometimes I feel like this over-aggression thing, it hurts them. And I think it's taken about 10 to 20% of this concentration in the game, in the play. You're not focused about your next play. You're focused on the fight. You're focused about, I want to get him because he fouled me. I'm going to get him. And it's very strange, to be honest. That is something that is, again, a bigger manager or something that would have controlled. I don't understand the meltdown from people in terms of like the play. Chelsea played well. The red card, that's Fofana's individual mistake. Liam Rosenior didn't tell him to go studs up and literally stamp on somebody. It's not its fault. My problem is they couldn't control the game after this at all. They couldn't control the game after this. Andre Santos is at fault because he was marking the guy that actually scored Fielding, Fleming, whatever his name is. That he scored, of course, and Chelsea couldn't control the game after this. They couldn't create chances. And also only the chest for Delap, in my opinion. João Pedro played well. We know when João Pedro scored, Don in the group chat is saying that he said Zubamendi is signing of the season. And João Pedro has had good goals as well. Like, it's good goals, but we're not going to forget the games where he blanked. But he has been in good form lately. I like what I'm seeing from him. He's been in very, very good form. I am worried for Chelsea, the coming games. I'm so worried for Chelsea for the coming games. They got a really bad run of games. This 3 points should have been in the bag. They should have had this 3 points. This is where you put a little bit of a separation between you and Liverpool. If they drop points away at first tomorrow, which is expected, like Liverpool can drop tomorrow, Man United can drop points against Everton away. This is your 3 points in the bag that you should have actually get before you actually go play Arsenal away. Especially going to play Arsenal away without Estevao, without Fofana, without Cucurella. That's just bad. You look at Arsenal, maybe they want to respond and they want to stay in the title race, of course, Arsenal. But Chelsea, they look good. They look good. I know the results are, but I'm going to say something that people like, they're not going to like, to be honest with you guys. Chelsea hiring Liam Rosenior is the definition of like, we're looking at performances, not results. We're not looking, because this is a guy that is young. We're looking at how he's going to set up his team, how the system works. I know that people keep saying, and the board keeps sending them the results. If they were looking for the results, they would have hired someone with more experience than this. I think as of now, there is a couple of games lately, I've seen good footprint from the team. I've seen good plays from the team. These passes between the lines and Neto's movement, Neto have improved. To be honest with you, people say Chelsea are boring. I don't think they're boring. I think it's an exciting way to play. Chelsea play exciting football, in my opinion. I still think that they might make Champions League if Palmer stays fit. I think Palmer is a big weapon for them. Who's going to miss out? Maybe Aston Villa. They drew at home today, and I think they're going to drop off. There is a chance of Man United, Chelsea, and Liverpool all making Champions League. It's not the end of the world. The meltdown from Elijah was not warranted. It's just a massive meltdown.
For me, I don't disagree with a lot of what you say. I think where there's been a realization for some Chelsea fans this year is there was that feeling, and I thought they would close the gap, was that they were going to close the gap and be a lot nearer to title contenders or title winners. That's not the case. They're not any. I just don't think they're anywhere near title contention. Team. Now that can be jumped. I mean, again, it's all about recruitment, because one thing I will say, performance is one thing, but this Chelsea team's performances in second halves of games when they're leading 2 years running, this squad, when the conversation around title charge starts getting mentioned, there's a drop off. that for me is the inexperience level coupled with players not being quite good enough. We speak a lot about
you don't have experienced manager and you don't have experienced player.
Exactly.
You can have one. You can have one.
So I agree, and this is where I feel to help Liam. That's why this summer, look, there's a really good young player like an Esteval, of course, go and buy them, but they need to be focusing on those players. If someone like a Tonali joining Chelsea, I'm just using. They may not need a midfielder, but I'm using his age, 24, 25. Got the experience, been in the Champions League, plays for his country. That is what they've got to be aiming at, not a 20-year-old who's had 50 games or an 18-year-old that's played 3 times. Look at Tyler Dibbling. I'm going to say this now. He's going to end up scoring a winner against Man United on Monday. But there was all that hype about him. He's gone to Everton. Have you heard his name mentioned all year?
No, he hasn't played. He's
the kind of player that a team like Chelsea have done it before, and United have done it. But you go, right, bang, there's 50 million for this youngster that looks brilliant. And you fast forward a year, 18 months, and you go, why have we bought him? Chelsea have got to get away from that, because the last 2 games are the better team. They were leading comfortably. And even though the red card was the big game changer today, I think most of us and football fans were watching this, and I bet we were all saying the same thing. Chelsea really got to score another goal, because we could see the sting in the tail.
They're living on the edge, yeah. They're living on the edge, yeah.
And that is the difference between Chelsea and the Man Cities and Arsenals this season, and the Man Cities and the Arsenals and the Liverpools in the last 4 or 5 years, is that Chelsea regularly don't seem to
I don't see the end game, though.
When they're on top, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't see the end game. I don't see the end game.
Well, if they don't, yeah.
Because hear me out. Because this Rosinha, if he fails to get Champions League, unless they change the way they recruit the manager as well, I don't see the end game here.
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
Look, I hear you. I think no one sees the end game. If they just keep every time someone leaves, the replacement's always a youngster, I don't see how they ever build an experienced squad. I don't, because a team that wins consistently has never been built from youngsters all starting together. It's always been experienced players with youngsters added to it.
Or you keep the same manager for years, or you keep the same manager until the manager gain experience with these people. You accept failures. If you thought Maresca is a little bit failing, but you saw the signs of a good coach, you should have kept the guy and then accept that he might make it 1 year, might not make it the second, and then it's progression.
I understand that their summer needs to be really, really big. It does. We have a few comments here that have come through. This is a Kwess. Chelsea are in these comps like Houdini revealed the comps, please. This is a dirty Lulu of Chelsea. You're not in the Premier League title race, and you're not for the FA Cup or Champions League. Well, they can win the FA Cup and Champions League. Let's be really fair about that. Quest chatting, he doesn't believe what he's saying. Already have Nord, didn't know about the Setanta Sport plug. Thanks, Terry. Big up yourself, my friend. You're probably one of hundreds of people that have used it through. We're partnered with Nord now for getting on 4 years. They've been one of our partners at the Terrace. What about Maradona at Napoli? Was a one-man team. I'll have to go.
I didn't watch that team, and I don't know who was in that team.
I'd have to go back and research it, but I bet there was more than one. Again, you tell me there's one good player in the team and everybody else was relegation level. Well, come on. Mo, would you have the same energy if it was your team drawing against a relegation side? How are you going to say we played well? No bother. You would be... Hang on. Why the fuck are you saying we and then got a Man United profile badge? What's going on?
No. He would say we played well, but I wouldn't say Inter played well.
Oh, sorry. I misread. My apologies.
No, the super chat is amazing.
Yeah,
but I'm going to explain
about Inter Milan. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. That's photo glimpse. Sorry. Let me go back. Sorry.
Bro, the team that will win your league just lost to Bodo Glimt 3-1 as well, Man City. So the team that everyone is saying they're going to win the league lost to Bodo Glimt 3-1. I just to respond to the super chat. It's a great super chat. Here is the difference. I promise you this, my man. The direction of Chelsea have changed when they went to get the players they got. When they replaced Maresca with Liam Rosinha, an inexperienced manager from Strasbourg, they set the tone, not me. If this was Arsenal, if this was Man City, I would have said different, my friend. That is the problem. They said, and I thought, and I explained it to you, them hiring Liam Rosinha means they are worried more about the performances, because if they are worried about the result, they would have hired some experienced manager to take them over the line, to get them Champions League, to get them higher on the table. And I didn't say that the result is acceptable. I am in no time in this show, I have said the result is acceptable. I said they fumbled, they should have won the game. The red card, they didn't control the game after the red card. But I'm analyzing the performance before the red card. I like the performance. They created 3 big chances. They had plenty of shots. Yes, not on target. Palmer missed a couple of chances. So I like that performance. Because Chelsea aren't going to win. Because my belief that Chelsea are not going to win the Premier League. And most likely they might make the Champions League. You know what I mean? So yes, it's unacceptable, the result. But the performance itself is not. In a tighter race, results matter. In top 5 race, I know the results matter. But I was criticizing the people that said that the performance was not good. It was good. The performance was good.
I hear that. And yes, I do need to learn how to read, but my dyslexia, I can't help it. But I know you're only joking. A few people having to go at you in the comments. He didn't mean it in a horrible way. Everybody calm down. Everybody relax. Big up Mo is what
big up back here.
Yeah, big up to yourself. Look, I want to thank everybody that's tuned into the show. I want to thank all of you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to be live after Manchester City play Newcastle later on this evening. So make sure you're all back here with us for that. This will redirect you to Hussam's watch along for that game. So make sure you're checking out and supporting him. So it'd be great to see you all back here about quarter to 10 p.m. tonight. Big shout out to our title sponsors again, NordVPN. Remember to protect yourselves online at all time. It's imperative. Until next time, everybody, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.